and welcome to How to Heist. These are some strategies that I've developed with my experience with the content so far. They've worked for me, and they can be really helpful if you still have crashing problems. I had a ton of them on Saturday, less Sunday and today. So the first thing to do, or to not do, is don't kill things needlessly. Don't just run around murdering things because you can. Unfortunately, minions are a little bit bad about this. But if you convocate them away from the extra enemies, especially the enemies that are patrols and give extra alert level, and the uniques, it's not too terrible. The other thing that you should be keeping an eye out for is, let's just say you get a good drop. You don't want to get too greedy. So long as you haven't triggered the lockdown yet, you can die as many times as you want, and you can just re-enter the heist, go pick up your loot your corpse, and take it out. Once you trigger the lockdown, if you die, it's like hardcore. It's gone for good. So don't get too greedy. If that Exalt drops or that 6-link drops, get out of there. You're not going to get more value from your regular contract than what you just picked up. There's no point in risking it. Maybe if it's really early on, like the Divine Orb I got, you know what? Loot another chest, push it a little more, but don't push your luck too far. And again, be careful that you're killing in a controlled way. Or, alternatively, if you feel like you're still gaining too much alert level and you really just don't want to deal with that, you can actually loot the entire thing using Karst with minimal to no killing. And if you do that, heists can become pretty lucrative. The only problem with that is it costs you marks. Now, how profitable this is going to be long term, I don't know. But we're on day 4 of a league, and right now marks are relatively inexpensive, and the items you're going to be looting are relatively expensive. In the future, you'll have to just assess this for yourself. Now, you might be saying, but wait, isn't Path of Exile all about killing monsters? Can't I just kill everything and get out? No, you can't. And the reason you can't is killing enemies raises the alert level. The amount depends on the enemy you kill. Some patrols, like the unique enemies, give a lot. I highly advise, no matter what your general strategy is, do not kill the unique monsters until you are on your way out and the alarm's already been triggered. And just to demonstrate the fact that you can actually do a full pacifist run, that's what I'm going to do here. Now, unfortunately, my helper rogue does do some killing, and I can't really control that. Just because I'm a pacifist doesn't mean I'm going to push my pacifist worldviews on others. But what I am going to do is go around, loot all the chests, avoid killing patrols, avoid killing enemies in general, and then get out. The other thing that I've seen a lot of people having problems with are the doorways. They are a bit problematic. For me personally, I don't mind them too much because on the way out, I can just kill enough enemies to throw down a Vaal Blade Vortex. Anything like Vaal Blade Vortex, mines, totems, traps that you can throw away from yourself, even minions running through the door. They might die, but you won't die. If you have to go through the door, it can be very dangerous. But a couple things that I've found do help lower that risk and lower the chances of you getting insta-gipped. The first is having good elemental mitigation, which is why I'm using the Sephel's Frame Shield. I'm combining this with the Crystal Vault to increase my physical mitigation. Crystal Vault gives Fizz taken as cold. You can see my video on uniques to get more details. And a 6-link was about 20 Chaos Orbs. Unfortunately, it is a little bit hard to color for Poison Blade Vortex, but I have Corrupted Embalmers for my main links, so I'm just using it for some auras and support skills currently. I'm also using Fortify, which reduces my damage taken pretty significantly, and I am always only going through doors with Phase Run and a Quicksilver Flask up, or with Shield Charge. Because I'm moving through so quickly, that gives the enemies a lot less time to hit me, and a lot less time to potentially kill me. You do have to be very careful of the enemies that hold their Divine Ire and immediately blast it as soon as you go through the door. If you eat all that to the face, you're probably going to die. My overall impressions are that, for the most part, most builds should be able to do this. It is more about how you play than what your build is. Having these extra defenses are certainly good, but you don't absolutely need them. You can play around just not getting hit most of the time. Now, in terms of pacifist runs, summoners are not very good for this. I think as long as you are careful to avoid the high alert level packs, especially if you bring someone like Karst, or gear out your rogue in general, with gear that reduces alerts, you will be perfectly okay on a summoner. On the other hand, summoners do have the advantage of dealing with doorways very well because your minions will run through and you won't. I was hoping to have some footage of Grand Heists, but when I went to record it, the instance crashed. So I don't have that I will at some point in the future, as more of the bugs are fixed, and as I get my rogues up, release a second video talking about more ways to heist and strategies specific to grand heists. There are definitely times when killing enemies is advantageous. There's also times when not killing enemies is equally or more advantageous. And personally, I've found this to be quite refreshing. It's kind of just a fun little minigame where I play the how long can I go without letting enemies hit me and without having to kill them. If it ends up being that it is not changed and killing enemies is the best way to do heisting, I'm probably going to make a ZDPS character whose job is to just survive and pull enemies away from a rogue. My personal theory, though, is that this is very early league. We're going to see a post from GGG soon due to the number of people who are upset about the way it works currently, where the alert level is going to be much more about being seen by enemies in the first place and less about whether or not you kill them after you are seen. Personally, I don't mind that not killing enemies is part of a risk-reward equation currently. I kind of like it actually because it's so different from the rest of the game. But I'd like to know your thoughts. Do you want to be able to just kill everything? Do you think that it is more rewarding or more fulfilling? Or does that make the content feel more bland because it's kind of just mapping, but a little bit different? Personally, I feel like it might make it a little more bland, and I like being challenged to think in different ways. But again, it is day 4 of the league currently, and there's likely to be a lot of changes in the near future, so please take all of this with a grain of salt. It could be that a week from now this video is completely irrelevant. The other thing that I'd like to talk about very quickly that is an important note, at least as of right now, if you are using NeverSync's loot filter, a lot of the gear for your rogues is being hidden, which is kind of frustrating, because a lot of us did not know about this, and my rogues are very, very undergeared because only 2 items dropped. I thought it was just that the items were that rare. As it turns out, no, it's much more of that my loot filter was just hiding them all. So double check that, go on to filterblade.xyz, there will be a link in the card, and customize out your loot filter to make sure all of that stuff shows up. With that, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and ringing the notification bell so that you see whenever I post a video. And if you would like to support me so that I can continue to post videos, for as low as $1 a month, you can join the channel. When you do, you'll get access to some members-only perks, and you'll be helping me continue to make videos for you. Thank you for watching, I hope you've enjoyed, stay sane, and good luck with your heists.